Hello everybody. Today I'm going to do my review on the Fusion 10 gallon. This is made by Innovative Marine. I also have the Innovative Marine stand that comes as an option for the tank. The tank retails for roughly $200. It's an all-in-one inclusive kit. Comes with a return pump, comes with a media basket, comes with a filter sock, comes with everything you could need to just set up a simple nano system. The tank is 10 gallons, but roughly 7 gallons of actual volume with rock and sand. I'm going to show you a couple things that I've done with it. I'm going to show you a couple of my corals as well. It's a very basic setup. It's here in my office. Most people can, of course, just put this on right on their desk. That's why it's called the Innovative Marine all-in-one desktop. So I got a XR15 Ecotech Radion on this guy. I got the diffuser for it specifically for the light bleed, since it's such a small tank. I have my settings at about 30%. Mostly I have LPS in here. They seem to do really good. I have some acros on the top, which I'll show you. But the XR15, a little bit overkill for this tank, but I really like the features of the Ecotech, so I kept it with the Ecotech. You'll see the stand. It's quite small. It may look a little bigger, but if you see my hand, you will see that the door for this guy is very small. So you can't really fit much in here. All I've done is fit a few modules from my Apex going to my Apex system. I have measuring pH temperature, and that's about it. There are sensors. I have a sensor bar here and an outlet bar, and the sensors I'll show you in a bit. This particular setup is actually hooked up to my 100-gallon Reef tank in my kitchen. So what I do is I actually use a liter meter to send water between this tank and my Reef tank as an auto water change. So the water in this tank shares the same water as my regular Reef tank. In order to do that, I had to use a number of sensors, which I'm going to demonstrate and show you. One of which is the high sensor, which will indicate if indeed the water was to get too high, which I highly recommend for anybody that has a nano tank that is using any type of auto top off or auto water exchange like I am. And the reason for that is, of course, these do not have sumps. They have a back refugium / sump area, and if the water gets too high, well, it has nowhere to go, so it ends up on the floor. So I have a high sensor, and I have a couple more sensors in there that measure the low and the middle of the tank water to indicate when to turn on my water exchange, which is my red tube there. I got some probes in the middle, nothing more. As you can see with the Ecotech light, that screw is very long, so kind of impedes on anything. I have a small fan here. This little fan is mostly a chiller for the tank. Since I am sitting at it right by a window, this tank does get hot. This keeps it roughly at about 77, 78 degrees most days, and I can link all the different parts I'm using here in the comments for you. I found that the Innovative Marine power head that they make specifically for this tank is perfect. That power head is roughly the size of about a $50 50-cent coin, and it comes with a nice little controller that I mounted over here, and it gives me the ability to adjust all the settings. I have it all the way at 1 because this tank is quite small, and it does a lot of power from that little head. So we'll go over a couple little corals I got. I got my nice Scully here. That's probably my favorite in here. I got a couple acans. I got a couple larger zoas, blastos, a couple mushrooms. I got a nice torch here, a couple zoas, a couple acros. I got a nice little cleanup crew, nothing too crazy. I currently only have one fish. He's a big guy. He's a big goby. I also have the fire shrimp right over here, which I think you might have seen him poking around. Got a couple nems. There's one up there, and the other one's hiding behind a rock right now. And there's the shrimp. He's kind of chilling. It's just a fire shrimp back there. I didn't do too much with this tank in terms of stocking. It's only 7 gallons, so there's quite a bit that could happen. But again, since I'm sharing it with my Reef tank, I don't really run into any issues in terms of water quality in this tank. I do have a battery backup as well, and that's just for the return pump basically, and the power head. So that way, if the power was to go out, this thing will, keep going. So a couple things, like I said, a small door, very small door. You can barely fit anything in there. The RODI auto top off, if you wanted to have one for this, you would need probably like a 5-liter container, maybe at most, maybe 2 of them, and it would probably last you a week before you have to refill them, I would assume, on most setups. I would have to highly recommend some type of sensor to indicate if the tank is going too high. I know Auto Aqua makes a high sensor and a water sensor that'll set off an alarm if it was to get too high. But other than that, it's a pretty self-sustaining system. I really like the Innovative Marine. I really like the fact that it's a small tank. I could fit it in my office. It's more or less a frag tank essentially for my larger Reef, but I have started to put some more unique things in the tank just to kind of keep it separate. But again, it does share the same water as my larger Reef tank. So it's a nice little setup with an auto water change. If you have any questions or any concerns, or you're curious how I'm doing certain things, just put some comments in and I'll reply to them. Also, please subscribe to my channel and you will get updates, and also make sure you hit the bell so you know when I upload. I do live streams every Saturday morning. I will be giving away a number of items, so please come, enter to win multiple things that I will be giving away. And again, if you have any questions about automation, programming, you can join our Facebook group, Reef Automation. And hope you liked the video, and if you have any questions, again, let me know.